Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us for the second part of our story. Let's jump right back in. I met up with the rest of the group, and we boarded the flight. It was uneventful, and once we landed and had checked in at the hotel, I called the house, but I used the phone from the hotel room. There was no answer, so I left a message. Honey, I did a really stupid thing. I left my phone in the cab and won't be able to call you until I get it returned or replaced. So if you need to call me, leave a message at the front desk, and I'll be sure to call you later in the evening. I didn't forget my phone. I just wanted to have a valid excuse for not taking her calls. The next day came, and I made sure my phone was off so that no one could reach me while I was in meetings all day with clients. When I got back to the room, I checked but hadn't received any messages. So I turned on my phone and didn't find any messages from my wife or anyone else. Well, maybe they did get through security at the airport, I thought. The next day, the meetings went even better than the first ones, and we were back at the hotel early. There were several messages waiting for me on the phone in my hotel room. One was from my wife, another was from her father, and the third was from a DEA agent, which brought a smile to my face. I then checked my cell phone and saw several messages waiting for me. I played the messages from the hotel phone. The first was from my wife, and she was crying. "Baby, it's me. I'm in big trouble, and I really need you. Please come home. Home now, please." After that, all I heard was crying. The next message was from my soon-to-be ex-father-in-law, Hank. "Your wife has been trying to get in touch with you. She's been arrested and needs you home now. Please call me when you can." The last message was from a DEA agent. "Sir, this is Agent DeFranco, and I would like to speak with you about your wife and her arrest on drug charges." He went on about where to reach him and a few other details. I was so happy I couldn't stop smiling, but I had to put on a serious face for my coworkers. Things worked out perfectly so far, but I still needed to act surprised and shocked so no one would suspect I had anything to do with this. So I contacted my boss the following morning and told him I had a serious problem at home, but didn't give out any details. He said that since the meetings were going so well, I could leave to take care of this emergency. But he wanted me back as soon as possible to ensure that we closed the deals with these clients. I caught the first plane back home, and as soon as I was on the ground, I pulled out my lost cell phone and called my father-in-law. "What the hell is going on? I got your message, but don't believe it. Kathy was arrested on drug charges. She doesn't do drugs." "Where did this happen?" "At the health club," he said. I knew exactly where it took place. Note, she was traveling with a friend to Hawaii and was stopped at security where they found some illegal drugs on her and her friend. Her father said in a low voice, as if embarrassed, "Wait a minute, just wait." I said, "She told me she'd be home, that she didn't have any plans." Who was this friend she was going to Hawaii with? I bet one of her girlfriends talked her into going and got her into this mess. Her father hesitated a moment, and I knew it was someone else. "The important thing to remember here, Hank," I said, "is that she is in trouble and needs your help. She loves you, and I know you love her." I cut him off. "What are you telling me, Dad? Who is she traveling with?" I yelled into the phone. I was enjoying this a little too much. There was silence. Then he cleared his throat. "She was traveling with a man, Gary somebody. He's been arrested too." But again, I cut him off. "So you're telling me my wife, your daughter, was flying off to Hawaii with another man while I was out busting my bum to earn a living, and she gets busted for drug possession? Is that what you're telling me?" "Yes, I'm afraid that's what I'm telling you," he replied. I took a long pause. "Okay, I need to talk to her lawyer, then this DEA agent, and then I'm going to talk to her. She better have one hell of an explanation for why she was about to go to Hawaii with another man and taking drugs with her as well. I hung up on him before he could respond. When I got home, I saw there were over 20 messages waiting, so I began to play them back. The first, as expected, was from me about losing my cell phone. The next few were from Kathy, hoping I would check our messages while I was on my business trip. Several were from her father, and the rest were from her lawyer asking me to get in touch as soon as possible. I called the lawyer, and since he wasn't in the office at that time, I made an appointment for the following morning. Next, I called the DEA agent, DeFranco, and agreed to meet him at his office downtown later that afternoon. I quickly got cleaned up and headed off, all the while trying to think if I had covered my tracks so none of this could come back on me. Soon I found myself in what I can only assume was an interrogation room. Agent DeFranco walked in carrying a folder. "Glad you were able to stop by and see me. I have some questions about your wife that I was hoping you could answer," he said, this while reading something from the folder. "Look, my wife isn't into drugs. As long as I've known her, she has never taken anything illegal. Hell, she doesn't even drink that much. This must be all a big misunderstanding or mistake. She's a yoga instructor, for God's sake. Why would she be doing drugs?" I was putting on a little act, but Agent DeFranco never looked up. People do all sorts of stupid things for all sorts of stupid reasons. "How did you know your wife was going to Hawaii with this guy Gary?" "She told us he was just a friend, but Gary said they were going to have a romantic holiday." "So do you know this Gary? Did you know your wife was having an affair? Did you know anything about the drugs?" Now he was looking at me hard. I took a deep breath to calm myself. I didn't know any of it until I talked with my father-in-law this morning, but I still can't believe it. She must have been coerced into doing this. She is just too good a person to be involved in anything like this. I didn't want to overplay this. I'm sure this guy could spot someone lying in a heartbeat, so I had to be very careful. "Decide," he said. "No, I guess you didn't know. Well, I hate to break it to you, chum, but your wife was cheating on you with a drug dealer, no less. Now we've already searched his place and found even more drugs, and soon we'll be searching your home as well. Now you could cooperate and let us into your house, or it wouldn't take long to get a search warrant. Either way, we'll be there soon to do the search." I knew her lawyer would have said not to, but this was self-preservation, and it would look good that I was not trying to hide anything, so I agreed. Soon I found myself back at the house with dozens of DEA and FBI agents, and a couple of their dogs looking through my house. They did take a few things. Some pill containers she kept in the medicine cabinet. The next day, while I met with Kathy's lawyer, I told him about my meeting with DeFranco and the search. He was not happy. "If you have any more contact with any law enforcement official, I want to be there before you answer any questions." "Do you understand?" he asked. I nodded. I was pissed. "Now let me make something clear to you. I want to know everything that has happened that led to my wife being arrested. So far, all I know is that she was about to board a flight to Hawaii with this guy Gary. If you or she wants my help, somebody better tell me how this came to be. Do I make myself clear?" "You know I can't discuss your wife's case with you," he replied. At that point, I walked out. Next, I went to the jail where she was being held and asked to see her. I met her in a room with several other inmates who were meeting either with family or lawyers at round metal tables with stools around them bolted to the floor. I saw her being led in, wearing an orange prison jumpsuit, no makeup, and her hair pulled back into a tight but messy ponytail. She looked like she hadn't slept in the last few days. "Oh, baby, I'm so glad you're here," she cried. I was about to give her a hug when a guard came over and told us we could have no physical contact. This made her cry even more. It's okay, baby. We'll get this whole mess sorted out. What I need now is to hear your side of the story. How did you end up about to fly off to Hawaii with this guy? I said, this with no emotion whatsoever. She started to cry even more. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So it's true. You were having an affair with this guy Gary, this drug dealer. How could you? Weren't you happy with me? Don't you love me? I don't understand this. I mean, you and him. Then there are the drugs. What were you thinking? I waited, but I knew she didn't have an answer. Please believe me when I say I've always loved you. This was just a one-time thing. It didn't mean anything to me. Can you please find it in your heart to forgive me? She was pleading with me now. I looked at her for a long moment, then said, I might have found it in my heart to forgive you, but you shattered it into a million pieces. Therefore, I have no forgiveness for you. When I leave here, I'll be talking to a divorce lawyer, and all the locks will have been changed on the house. I'll have all your clothes and other belongings sent to your parents' place because I want all traces of you removed from my house. As of now, you are no longer part of my life. I want nothing more to do with you. Oh, and tell that lawyer of yours that he'd better not use me as a character witness because I'll have nothing good to say about you. Goodbye, Kathy. I hope things work out for you. She was crying her eyes out and begging me not to go, saying she needed me. I never turned around but just went straight home and started to pack up her stuff. I called a locksmith and had all the locks changed the following day then. I called the security company and arranged to have them come by next week to install their top-of-the-line system. For me, within a few days, I had most of her things packed and ready to be sent to her parents' house. I'd also received and ignored several calls from Kathy, wanting to talk as far as I was concerned she could go to hell. Finally, I was able to return to work, and we signed those big clients we had been pursuing. Soon I had my promotion and the pay raise that came with it. I was able to divorce Kathy with little trouble, as it was a straightforward 50-50 split with no alimony, and she covered her legal fees from her drug arrest. She kept trying to get in touch with me, but I wanted to put some distance between us. She never went to trial as the evidence was overwhelming, and her lawyers advised her to take a plea deal for a shorter sentence. She was not happy, to say the least. Gary, on the other hand, fought tooth and nail to try and prove his innocence, but the bastard was sent up for 15 years, whereas Kathy only got 5. It was the day of Kathy's sentencing, and she had asked to see me one last time before she started serving her sentence. I agreed, and we met at her lawyer's office an hour before she was due in court. She looked at me, and I could see she had been crying. Hank, here's the narration, made time punctual, while keeping every word exactly as provided. I just wanted you to know that Gary didn't mean a thing to me. It was you I loved, and always will love. I'm so sorry I hurt you like this. It was never meant to be this way. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me someday. She was on the verge of tears again. Kathy, I want to know one thing. Why were you bored? Did I disappoint you in bed? Was it the thrill of doing something wrong and getting away with it? What made you do this and destroy our marriage? I said sadly. She looked at me. I don't really know why. I guess it was the excitement of doing something wrong, but I always loved you. Apparently you didn't love me enough, or you would have never done this in the first place. Kathy, I think this will be the last time that I ever have to deal with you, but I never want to see or hear from you again. I also want you to spend your time in prison thinking just how much you've lost, all because you wanted a little excitement in your life. I'm guessing you're going to have some exciting times behind bars once. Those ladies see your tight little bum. She started to cry again, but this time, out of fear, over the next few years, the company grew, and I worked my way up to a VP position. The business expanded, and we now had an office in New York, and I was chosen to head up. This meant selling my house, moving to Manhattan, and getting an apartment. Early on, I had received a few letters from Kathy, but sent them back unopened. That was a part of my life I wanted to put behind me and move on. It has been 7 years now, and my life in New York was good. I was still single and dating a different woman every few months. I had no desire to get married and put myself at risk of being betrayed again. Once was enough. I was sitting in my office when a call from the lobby came in, and my administrative assistant, Amy, came in. There is a woman downstairs wanting to speak to you. She says her name is Kathy. I paused for a moment. Have her shown up, but have 2 security guards standing by also. I have something I want you to do for me. I wrote something down and handed it to Amy. She looked at what I had written and smiled at it. A few minutes later, Kathy was in my office, but she looked at least 10 years older and had put on some weight, but not in a good way. Her once beautiful long brown hair was now showing some gray, and was afraid I could see the bags under her eyes, which were saddle looking. The clothes she wore were stylish but conservative and a bit dated. I looked at her, but felt nothing, not love, not hate, not even pity. I was just empty of emotion. So, Kathy, what do you want? Hank, I was hoping to talk to you. I felt the need to set the record straight as to what happened to me. You see, I had no idea about the drugs, and I still don't know how they got in my bags. Mary must have snuck them in when I wasn't looking. I'm not a drug user and never have been. Please believe me, she was pleading. See, you threw away our marriage for a fling and made our whole marriage a lie. Why should I believe you now? Why is it so important that you felt the need to track me down and tell me another lie? You don't understand. I love you. I still love you. I want you back. I want us to be together again. I want us to. Just then, the phone on my desk rang, and I put it on speaker. Yes, Amy, what is it? Stacy called to confirm that you should get 4 tickets for the opening, as her parents are coming into town, and they want to meet you. Let her know that I'll buy 4 tickets. Oh, and find out where her parents are staying. I'd like to send her mother a dozen roses. I ended the call and turned back to Kathy. You were saying Kathy was on the verge of tears. Who is Stacy? Oh, just some woman I've been dating for a while. But you're not here to discuss my love life. You are telling me you still love me. I'm flattered, but you should know I do not love you anymore. That ended the day your father told me you were arrested and that you were about to fly off to Hawaii with Gary. As soon as your infidelity was exposed, I was done with you. Now please leave, and I never want to see you again. Do you understand me? She looked heartbroken, but I didn't have anything to do with those drugs. They found I was set up. Gary must have. I slammed my hand down on my desk. Kathy, enough with your lies. You were screwing around on me. You lied to me then, and you're lying to me now. Just stop it. I don't believe you. I never will. I think it's time you left. And please don't come back. I've instructed security that if you ever show up here again, they'll have you arrested. Do I make myself clear? She was silently crying, but nodded her head. I led her to the door and had the 2 security guards escort her out of the building. Amy came in after she left. What was that all about? Oh, that was just me saying aloha to a great time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time.